Hello and welcome to Flippin Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're going to be flipping through Mad number 120, released July 1968. Our price 35 cents, which is indeed still cheap. My guess is that this is following a price hike. I don't know. That's my guess anyway. But before we get into this, I want to talk a little bit about how you can support this channel. If you want to support, the easiest way to do is hit like, hit subscribe, and share this video out, or leave a comment. Like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to support me in another way, if you watch these videos a lot and you're like, hey, you know what? This is worth something more than just my time. I want to give some money. You can go to patreon.com/flippinthrough. That link is down there in the description. And speaking of which, I have 4 patrons still: Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Kyle Bridget. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate your support. It helps me pay for things like a nicer version of StreamYards. So when I do those interviews, it helps me do something else that I'm going to do. I'm buying something. I'm making stickers. That's what I'm doing, okay? And I'm going to reveal those very shortly. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's just get right into this. Beautiful Norman Mingo cover. And okay, so I just, I'm not going to lie, I just got the joke. And it's a picture of money, and then it's Alfred E. Newman in the safe rather than money. I was just so focused on his beautiful face that I didn't even pick up on that. Probably not like the most memorable cover. It's cool looking. I like it, but it's not one that when I pulled it out, it stood out because I don't remember it, rather than standing out because I have a very close, I don't know, some type of nostalgia for it. Some beautiful Don Martin, One Day at the Beach, written by Sergio Aragonés. That's always the case, too. The vital features. Oh, before we do that, here we have, let's zoom in. The longer you nurse a grudge, the longer it takes to get better. Again, this is just good advice. I don't understand this. It's so many of these were just that made actual sense. This cover's about to fall off. Here we have Blue-Eyed Kook, a Mad movie satire. Mort Drucker. We have the Mad Hate Book 2, the Mad Hate Book, which I believe the Mad Hate Book showed up before in a video. I hope I'm not repeating myself. A mad peek behind the scenes at the post office. Paul Coker Jr. This is Al Jaffe. I didn't say that. Jack Davis with some mad articles you never got to see. Then On the Road with Sergio Aragonés, and the Great Society Alphabet Book. Who was that guy last week who it's like Max something or other, Max Bandel, who I bet he came up with the idea. That's my guess. But it's all going to be photographs, I think. Here we have the letters page. Oh, and I asked last week, hey, what do you guys think of the letters page? Should I keep doing this? And I did have a couple people who were like, yeah, do the letters page. This is what I'm going to say, though. Some slight feedback. Rather than giving me, sending me a direct message on Twitter or Instagram or something, leave a comment below, because that helps. It seems silly, but it actually does help with getting the video promoted by YouTube. So, I don't mind getting the DMs, but just if you could just leave a message or a comment below, that would be the best. So here we have Mission Ridiculous. Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. The men you are looking are... Okay, let's try this again. Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. The men you are looking at are William M. Gaines and Albert B. Feldstein, publisher and editor, respectively, of a satirical magazine known as MAD. They recently published a disgusting, insulting, and completely inane satire of a fine TV show, mainly ours. They cannot be allowed to continue their activities any longer. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to stop Gaines and Feldstein once and for all. As usual, if any of your IMF team are recognized and mercilessly slashed to pieces by MAD's gang of ruthless writers, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This letter will self-destruct in 10 seconds and take the magazine with it. Simon Edkins, Bowdoin College. Bowdoin? I don't know how to pronounce that. That's clever. I like that, though. So they must have lampooned Mission Impossible recently. Which, Mission Impossible, I'm so excited for all of those movies when they come out. I think there was only one that was a stinker. Here's a 100-millimeter cigarette. I bet this is the first letter commending Irving Schild, crack photographer, on his great camera work for MAD's back cover ads. His great moments, the 100-millimeter cigarette, was sensational. This is true. I don't see Irving Schild getting much praise in the letters comments, so that's good. You know what? That's a sincere letter that I will forgive. Okay? This time. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. This, actually, I'm getting distracted again. Oh, I want some of these so badly. Well, actually, I have this one, right? Yeah, I have this one behind me, or a version of it. Anyway, Blue-Eyed Kook. Years ago, when they made a prison picture, you knew exactly what was going on. The guards were all sadistic, and the prisoners were all regular guys under their tough exteriors. But today, things are different. Today, a prison picture isn't really about prison and prisoners. Today, it's all symbolism, and you have to figure out what's going on. Like, for instance, in this MAD version of a recent prison picture that begins like this. I've long said that there is too much symbolism in movies. I've always said that, actually. And of course, it is Mort Drucker, written by Stan Hart. I don't know what this is. I know this scene, right? But I thought that was like a movie with Robert Duvall, where he's wearing sunglasses, he's wearing sunnies. But there's Paul Newman. I don't know. Hopefully somebody in the comments will reveal my ignorance and say it's this movie. I say my blue-eyed friend Kook can eat 50 eggs. And I say your blue-eyed friend Kook is a phony and a blowhard. What are you, crazy? You're Kook. I know, I just feel argumentative today. Come on, Kook, you can do it. Only 10 more to go, Kook. Just one more and we win a fortune, Kook. He did it. My blue-eyed Kook did it. Blue-eyed Kook, hey, that's what we're going to call you from now on. Is this an actual scene in a movie? They had a prison egg-eating contest? That can't be real, right? It must have been like a drinking contest or something less absurd. Eggs. Here we have the Mad Hate Book. I love the name of that, though, the Hate Book. When did that first show up? Several issues back, we ran an article entitled The Mad Hate Book. I knew it. In which we demonstrated to readers how to feel better by blowing off steam around about pet hates. The response was more than gratifying. An avalanche of letters poured in from readers blowing off steam about their pet hates, mainly MAD, and the Mad Hate Book article. And so, not to be outdone in the hostility department, here we go again with another more aggravating and exacerbating chapter of the Mad Hate Book, Volume 2. Don't you hate? I cannot relate to this. Oops. So this is something I'm unable to relate to because where I'm from, they don't have gas station attendants. In Jersey, I think they still do it. Don't you hate the gas station attendants who insist on rounding out the amount of your purchase so you end up paying for gas that's overflowed onto the ground? Yeah, I do. Don't you hate hearing a crunching sound while looking for a lost contact lens? Does that happen? Are they glass? I thought they were like squishy. Don't you hate a date who describes the qualities of her ideal man should have? None of them fit you. That's actually what I kind of look like when I shave. Hey, don't you... Oh, I can't see that one. Here, how about a great smoking one? Don't you hate big guys who smoke in no smoking rooms? I'm on that cutoff where I still remember when you could smoke in restaurants and how strange it was when that stopped. And I mean, I don't mean strange in a bad way. It's wonderful now. Don't you hate when people tell you to drop in anytime and they do? Oh, wait, when you tell people to drop in anytime and they do. Well, it probably would have been funnier had I read it correctly. There's something so... I've said this a million times before, but I really miss Jaffe doing these types of things, these types of articles. He did such a good job, and then he just sort of moved away from that, and he was doing the fold-ins for a long time, it seems like. He didn't do this kind of scale of work. I don't know when that stopped, but it's a bummer because I love the way he tells stories in his pictures. It's just lovely. Here we have my favorite, a mad peek behind the scenes at the post office, Paul Coker Jr. with writer Larry Siegel. And again, I mean, this is sort of like, you kind of get the I don't know, I'm starting to repeat myself. I had to get new lines. But the problem with Coker is that he wasn't good at these huge scenes. Because I mean, the background is just bins of letters. That's it. So he has these wonderful characters, but he's not that good at the background. So it's just, and I mean, it works, I guess. But one of the fun things about the peek behind the scenes is when you get to see behind and you see all of the little things like this down here where the guy has his foot up on the desk, he has the kettle on, or like right here where the mail's like coming into the bucket. But that's it. It's everything else is bins, just bins drawn around everything. And it's like, there could have been so much, I don't know, cool stuff, just like fun little chicken fat. It's just, it's a bummer. And I mean, that's like, to me, that's not on him. It's on somebody else for putting him on that. Like, quit putting Coker on huge splash pages like that. Mother's Day cards. Down through history. I could have sworn, if this wasn't going to be writer Frank Jacobs, I figured it would have been, what's his face? Dick DiBartolo. But I guess this might predate him. I'm not sure. To Mother on Mother's Day. It must be fun to be the first and only one. In fact, with Pa, you've set the pace for all the future human race. You've raised me like a mother should, to be respectful, fine, and good. But Ma, to put it very plain, it kills me how you're raising Cain. That was pretty clever. That was pretty clever, Frank, I have to say. Yo-ho, happy Mother's Day. Oh, mother dear, I speak your name, and every prize I plunder. I see your face within the flame of ships I tear asunder. I let no man stand in my way. I strike and scourge and smother. For everything I am today, I learned from you, dear mother. And then carved into the man's stomach. There you go. Here's your chance. Here's a house ad to commit highway robbery. These are very fun. I like these. I think they were just like paper stickers or something. So I don't think if you found one of these, any of them aged very well. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about how they're made, but I'm probably not wrong about how they aged. Either way, I don't think that they stood the test of time. The Lighter Side of Driving with Dave Berg. What? Women drivers? What? Younger people drivers? What? That's probably what it was. The 1906 Political Olympics. Artist Jack Rickard. We have the 1,500 meter ethnic eating relay. This is back when Italians were considered ethnic. The phony reluctant candidate marathon. The two-faced backtracking handicap. Ooh. MAD simplified ABC method of bullying your way through final exams. Now, when I remember when I was in the Navy, you would have to take tests. And there was a saying, when in doubt, Charlie out. Always select C if you're not sure. I don't know. I think that was fairly scientifically, that was a conclusion that was come to through the scientific process, I'm almost certain. All-purpose exam statements. Oh, okay. So here we have the literature instant phrase maker. Let me move this and zoom in so we can kind of figure out how this works. I did it the right way. All right, so all-purpose exam statements. No long involved response to this question is deemed necessary. The author's symbolic, probing characterization speaks for itself. Ooh, very good. But these all go in ABC order. Though to a lesser extent, this book employs the same techniques as others that come to mind, especially in its structurally allegorical evolution, and of course, its overdrawn, probing context. This is actually pretty impressive, I have to say, because it does actually seem to work fairly well. That makes it seem like I know something, the way I said that. The arts, here we go. Imitative, traditional framework has been tried before, and in this particular example, we see an obvious effort to try it again. I find myself so completely engulfed by the uninspired, surrealistic objectivity of this classic example that any analysis would be chiefly emotional. That's how most people talk, I think. Like whenever somebody is talking about something that they think they know a lot about, like they've taken a 101 class and they've gotten all of the jargon down. Yeah, I hate it. It's like when I start throwing around things like chicken fat, like the hell I know what I'm talking about. While strolling through the city, we got Phone Bones shoes. Oh, Phone Bones eyeglasses. Phone Bones wigs. Phone Bones swimsuits. All right, I figured it out about by the end, but it's still fun. I like how Don was just like, they won't get it. So he has to have Phone Bone holding a sign. I mean, come on, man. We could have figured that out, right? A MAD public service. jobs on the fringe of show business with art by George Woodbridge. Nobody given writing credit. Some MAD articles you never got to see. I like these. It's sort of like in newer issues, they started doing, or in later issues, started doing the MAD cover we didn't use, which oddly enough was on regular occasion better than the cover that they did choose, even though, it was the idea that, it was in running that's false, right? It was never actually a cover that they were going to use in any capacity, but I'm curious about this though. The newspapers tell us that many criminals and syndicate members are passing their knowledge from father to son. That's sweet. But what about the future lawbreakers who are not so lucky to have a gangster or a racketeer or a hired killer for a father? It is for these deprived hoodlums of tomorrow that we, the Mad Crime Alphabet Book. That's why they didn't use it, because of the typo. A is for arson, for mugs who like fire. It helps if you're born with a burning desire. And they're all rhyming. Of course, Frank Jacobs came up with these. And D is for double cross, a way tried and true to outshaft your buddy before he shafts you. The U.S. government ran everything. I want a president who wears a Mad Magazine pin. Oh, so yeah, here we go. There's Frank, or not Frank. There's Jack Davis. This is a bunch of people, obviously, because that's Bob Clark. There's his signature. There's Coker. Then we have Mort Drucker, and then Jack Davis. So I wasn't wrong, but that's not it, obviously. The lighter side of death. Okay, actually, I will read this one because this is one that Frank Jacobs wrote, which I love. This is actually, I brought this up the other day. Like, what would have happened if Dave Berg didn't write it? Sergeant, we just received word that Roger Kaputnik's wife died. I want you to break the news to him, but please do it gently. Yes, sir. I'll do it real gentle, sir. All right, men, fall in on the double. At ease. Now, I've got an announcement to make. But before I do, I want all the married men to step forward. Oh, my God. Not so fast, Kaput. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's beautiful. And then look at, here's Dave Berg's signature backwards. That's strange. But it says David. Here, I wonder if this one's better too. Not so fast there. I have a telegram for Mr. Milton Freebish. For me? Hope it's a singing telegram. I'm afraid not, Mr. Freebish. It's a regular telegram. I've never had a singing telegram. How about singing this one to me? If you don't mind, sir, I'd rather not sing it. What's the matter? It wouldn't hurt you to give me a little pleasure. Sing it. Okay, you asked for it. Tra-la-la, 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 your mother's dead. Oh. And so I guess I got an answer. What would it be like if Dave Berg drew other people's writing? It would be hilarious. On the Road with Sergio Aragones. I've always had a question about this. Is it to be a female hitchhiker? Any ladies in their 80s who were hitchhiking back then and doing this, was the message that you were willing to have some hanky-panky in order to get a ride? Is that what it was? Anyway, Now that sounds very strange to say that out loud, what I just said, but I don't know. This is sort of like, this isn't a mad look at, driving or something. This is totally different, right? I mean, it's shorter. And it's not a precursor. I don't know. The Great Society alphabet book. Oh my God, I'm a genius. It is Max Brandel. Golly, I'm good. F is for freeways. They're bigger and faster to make it more easy to race to disaster. C is for credit cards. They aid us when buying, they even help out with the high cost of dying. Damn, this is a very morbid issue of MAD, but I like it. Oh, Jesus. I is for integration, which millions are for, just so long as it doesn't take place right next door. Ooh, that's scathing right there. This is like on T is for tax. We really can't spare it, but Linda needs money, so just grin and bear it. But this is, this is that sort of like satire that's like, oof, that's a kick in the shorts, man, for a lot of people, I think. Because NIMBYs is what they call it, not in my backyard. V is for Vietnam, or maybe vexation, our 6-year commitment to total frustration. Yeah, I wonder, is this political stuff easier for me to stomach because it's far away? Because I don't have an emotional stake in it or something like that, right? Probably. I think that's probably my, probably the truth. Every year, lots of kids drop out of school for one reason or another. What are dropout chances in the outside world? What will most of them become? To find out, fold in the page as shown. Oh, geez. Whoever did this really screwed it up. It can't cannon fodder. Wait. Oh, okay. Hold on. Jeez Louise. Cannon fodder. There we go. Beautiful. And then the back cover. This beautiful, lovely, modern Cinderella. Again, we just talked about this with that Sergio one. Anyway, that concludes issue number 120, released July 1968. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember, leave a comment, hit subscribe, hit like. Toodaloo.